We're going to war, Alex.
Oh, boy.
That's right. It's a war, baby. AEW versus WWE. I've picked my side, Alex. What side are you on?
SCW Pro, baby.
Okay. Right off the top, and I'm not even going to wait. We're going to get right into this, folks. Okay, here's the thing. We've said it since day one of the show, professional wrestling is a buffet. Like what you like. Because I got some subtweets, including from my podcast partner over here. Guys, I'm fucking trolling you all. Jesus, okay? Obviously, do I love AEW? Yes, and we'll get into that. I'll shock everybody right now off the top of the show. AEW, and keep in mind, it's a different perspective. I was there live, and being there live for this show is amazing. If I sit back and watch these, if I was just sitting on my couch watching shows this weekend on TV, AEW might have been the third best show I saw this weekend, and it might have been my second favorite show I saw live. Okay? I'll be honest. And we'll get into all this in a minute. Guys, I'm trolling. Also, the thing is, I will say this, and I'm not going to name names. There are some WWE apologists in my Twitter timeline that I knew would get riled up by that, and I'm going to hear about it from them. And if people don't realize I'm leaning into shit at certain points, guys, come on. But no, big, huge weekend for professional wrestling, Alex. It was an amazing weekend.
What did you think of Royal Quest?
I didn't watch Royal Quest yet because it was on Fight TV. It's not on New Japan World yet.
Oh.
It sounds like it was a great show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I'm one of the people that absolutely hates that. I guess it has something to do with TV rights and stuff like that. It's a bunch of legal
Was
shit.
it on TV in the UK?
I think it was on pay-per-view in the UK. So there's a bunch of legal rights BS that made it so that it can't be on New Japan World right away. Which I wouldn't have had time. I mean, maybe I would have watched that instead of TakeOver Cardiff on the ride back home yesterday.
TakeOver Cardiff was really good.
TakeOver Cardiff was amazing and probably one of the best wrestling shows of the year. Everything on that show, with the exception of maybe the opening match, which, I mean, it was kind of an add-on filter. And then I thought the women's match was a little blah. But everything else on that show,
I missed a lot of the main event. I want to go back and rewatch the main event.
The main event is probably one of the best matches. The main event to TakeOver Cardiff, Walter versus Tyler Bate was one of the best matches of the year. That tag match was an amazing match. The Joe Coffey versus
Mastiff.
Dave Mastiff was an insane brawl.
That might be one of my favorite matches ever.
Yeah, that was two big hosses just having a full-on brawl.
Go.
The Walter Tyler Bate match, I think, is probably going to be a match that's on a lot of people's match of the year list. It was absolutely phenomenal. I really think that whole show was great. I'm really, really wondering. I hope this gets more people to watch NXT UK. But Alex, we both watched that show. But obviously, I think everybody wants to hear about my adventures at Starrcast. Is it frozen again?
What? No.
Okay, I don't see the thing moving. So
it's moving.
Okay, I just want to make sure,
Jesus.
Guys. This is take two. We had a little technical difficulty, so I'm just if I'm a little nervous, that's why. But no. So I think we should start off. Well, there are two big things that happened this weekend, and we'll start with those.
Why don't you ever do anything chronologically? That's like good storytelling.
You want me to go chronologically?
Because if you start with the good stuff and then go to all the boring stuff, people are just going to stop listening.
Okay, so
we're just going to talk about the two good things that happened.
Okay, we'll start off with this. I arrived on Wednesday. We actually got there a day early this year. The convention didn't start till Thursday, so Wednesday we went out, had a little meal. There's a huge mall across from the Hyatt Regency. That's Chicago malls are awesome. I love Chicago malls because they're multi-level. They're huge. This mall is gigantic. The mall in Schaumburg is I can't remember the name of the mall, but it's gigantic.
It's just the Schaumburg Mall, isn't it?
I think it might just be the Schaumburg Mall. It's freaking gigantic. It's like this. I think the second biggest mall in the Chicagoland area. We're gonna do our old friend Yan at the mall. So kind of talked about the weekend.
Did you see him at all the rest of the weekend?
He was a game changer. He was a game changer. He went to Yan went to night. Yan spread himself around. He went to night one of the, and Yan's more of an indie guy.
Yeah.
So he actually watched All Out from home. He went to night one of the lineup. He went to Game Changer, and then he went to Warrior on Sunday. Just talked to my old buddy. Always good to see our old buddy Yan. Me and Doug have known Yan since 2003 IWA shows. Actually, he used to drive down to Iowa for No Limits. So, good old friend in the indie wrestling community. But as I was walking back into the hotel Wednesday night, we ran into a gentleman. Obviously they're supporting highspots.com. Former SCW Pro heavyweight champion, the man formerly known as Mr. Elite, a.k.a. the Man Scout, Jake Manning. Always great to see Jake. Had a great conversation with with the Man Scout. I, of course, immediately asked where the real superstar was. Wrestling tent.
Yeah.
What
did he say?
He said the tent is literally in the bag.
Nice.
The tent was drunk, apparently. Hey, Tent's a big star. He bigwigs people.
Tent.
He bigwigs Steve Manders.
Fuck that tent.
So
doesn't like the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Iowa Hawkeye opening season game?
Unfortunately, no, because it was the same time as All Out. In the more words of Sammy Guevara, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. So after doing that, we went back to the hotel, which is kind of chill night, relaxed. Got up Thursday, got ready, got checked in for Starrcast. I had my first lunch at the Cheesecake Factory, Alex.
Ooh.
And I definitely had some cheesecake. It was some bomb ass cheesecake.
You had some cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory?
Yes. Hey, it's exciting stuff. I went to the Cheesecake Factory for the first time.
Yeah, you can't support local businesses. You gotta support the big corporations.
My rule when I'm traveling is it can be a chain restaurant. It just has to be something I can't get at home.
What about a chain gang restaurant?
I mean, that...
John
Cheesecake Factory?
We don't have... The closest Cheesecake Factory is at the mall in Des Moines.
You didn't know we didn't have a Cheesecake Factory?
We never go to chains.
Yeah.
We almost go entirely on local
Where are my
places.
Keys? No, but
right there.
The Quad City does not have a Cheesecake Factory, so no, I went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
I got some banana cream cheesecake.
That actually sounds good.
It was the bomb. But Starrcast officially kicked off at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And first order of business was we went and got in line. Thankfully, Thursday, a lot of people don't come in quite yet, so only had to wait in line about 20 minutes or so before we got to get a photo op and a little conversation with the hangman, Adam Page.
Yeah.
Asked him if he was gonna ride a horse to the ring, which of course he did. Serious cowboy shit. Gotta love Hangman was seriously rocking the West. I mean, that guy kind of lives his gimmick a little bit, rocking a very much country western inspired suit and rocking the bolo tie.
Do you think he wishes he could have been a member of the West Texas Rednecks?
Maybe, but no. Hangman was super cool, super chill. So I will say, because I know last year I was kind of critical. It was really, well, number one, there were less tickets sold this year. I could definitely tell that. Last year, I think they've taken what they learned. They cut out some stuff. They moved some stuff around. One of the things, and me and Doug were kind of upset, they cut out the eat and greets this year. They didn't have them. Because the eat and greet rooms were now where the green room / hospitality rooms were for the talent.
Okay.
They took the room that was the green room last year and made it the official AEW meet and greet room. So it was a room for AEW talent for meet and greets. This cleared up so much of the congestion in the hallways, because that main hallway was last year. They had tables set up for meet and greets, and it was so congested and bottlenecked. That's one of the things that just made it a nightmare to get anywhere.
Sure.
They moved everybody into a room for AEW talent. this cleared up a lot of congestion. We got in there. There was literally no line at all for Darby Allin. So
Wow.
I got to talk to Darby.
Was he nice?
Again, awesome dude. His artwork. Doug almost bought he had some of his paintings there. Doug almost bought one of his paintings. He is a amazingly talented artist. No, Darby's super chill. And of course, I was about 2 minutes early. I will say that this is a funny story. I was about 2 minutes early because Darby was just by himself when we got there. And then as we were literally, I think when we were moving to our next meet and greet, Priscilla Kelly walked into the room.
Really?
So I missed getting to talk to Priscilla Kelly by like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. Of course, and Douglas goes, hey, Timmy. And of course, I had my back turned. He goes, turn around. I'm like, I turn around. And there she is. And as I've talked about on this podcast, Priscilla is a very fetching young lady. And in person, she is as beautiful as she is on television. And from what I didn't talk to her, but it seemed like she was super nice to a lot of people. So then went over. Again, since we were there really early, Jimmy Havoc, no line. Got to talk to Jimmy for a little bit. So again, super nice guy. It's always funny because you see the gimmick with the spikes and shades, and then he's a very soft-spoken British gentleman.
I listened to him on some podcasts like before he was real big.
Yeah, he's very soft-spoken, very British. But again, really nice. Super cool to meet Jimmy Havoc, and then went over and talked to Mr. Low-Key Big Hog himself.
You talked to Low-Key?
No, not Low-Key. I talked to the Low-Key Big Hog, the Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Tony Schiavone.
How is Tony doing?
Tony's great. It's crazy that in 2019, I think Tony Schiavone may be in the best physical shape he's ever been in.
Yeah.
He's a DDP yoga guy like me, so, no, Tony was a cool cat. Then we headed over to the main hall for first off the BTE mailbag segment.
Yeah.
Which was very awesome. They had the Young Bucks, Brandon Cutler, I'm trying to think of who all was on that panel. And then the biggest one, a surprise Starrcast appearance by one Mr. Kenny Omega.
Oh.
And the biggest thing that came out of this that I'm super excited about is Kenny saying that the video game is already in the works. And not that joke meme that we put out a couple weeks ago. Now, Kenny said that he is already in talks with several companies. There will be an AEW video game, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm hoping Kenny Omega. If there's any guy that you want to have crafting a professional wrestling video game, in my opinion, it's Kenny Omega. So let's hope we get that soon. BT email bag was a lot of fun.
You're gonna be on the N64.
Dude, I just want him to use the N64 engine. That's my main goal. Is like, can I just get a 2019 graphics game with the N64 gameplay engine? I don't care. That's what I want. Then we had Undesirable to Undeniable with Cody Rhodes, which was, again, just everybody knows Cody, kind of my inspiration a little bit for getting on DDPY and trying to improve myself. So getting to hear him kind of tell his story, and obviously kind of went through with Tony Schiavone, just everything from, WWE up to where we are now. Really great. And this stuff is all on Fight TV. If anybody wants to see it, you can get it for about $40. Plug for Conrad.
Yeah, because he needs a plug from us. For fuck's sake. So you'll plug his shit on our show.
Hey, you said we're going chronologically. You can wait to yell at me for that later. Okay, so
motherfucker.
Then late night activities at Starrcast always get a little fun, and there's a certain crew that I think I need to thank this year for that, and we'll get into that. But the late night activity on Thursday was Starrcast karaoke with Tony Schiavone.
What'd you sing?
I did not get up and sing. I kind of wish I would have now, especially after what happened on Friday, on Saturday. But so the Game Changer Wrestling crew. Brett Lauderdale.
Did Brett Lauderdale sing?
Brett Lauderdale did not sing, but who else sang? KTB sang.
Nice.
Tony, the highlight of the night was by far Tony Deppen and Marco Stunt singing "Living on a Prayer."
That was Logan.
Was it Logan? Marco sang something else. I can't remember what Marco. sang.
What did Marco? I saw it.
But Marco sang. Logan Stunt.
Did he sing "Living on"? No.
"Living on a Prayer" was Tony Deppen and Logan. But no.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. No, the guys from Game Changer Wrestling, kind of basically they were the main people responsible for making Starrcast a party this year. They brought the party hard. No, this karaoke.
Did Steve Manders sing?
No, Steve Manders did not sing, unfortunately.
What the hell?
Oh, I should tell that about Thursday. Did you see the outfit that Steve Manders was rocking on Thursday?
Yes, I did.
Cowboy hat, sleeveless American flag shirt, and I will say this. So, Game Changer Wrestling Black Label Pro had all their people at a table in the vendor room. They had their own little thing in the vendor section. And I did not know that our good friend Steve Manders,
who's one called?
The one called was going to be there. So Thursdays we're walking by, and Douglas says to me, "Hey, I see a Manders." I'm like, "No, he's not here." I walk over, and there's Steve Manders in this ridiculous looking outfit. And he goes to just give me a fist bump, and I look at him and say, "Get your fucking ass up and give me a hug, goddammit." The best part about this, it popped Nick Gage.
Nice.
Gage just, "Yeah, get the fuck up, Manders." I wish we could get Steve Manders on because I would love to talk to him because Steve Manders, one called Manders' job this weekend was to drive around Nick Gage and Homicide.
Nice.
That's got to be one hell of a fucking learning tree.
It's one crazy ass car ride.
Yes, I want to know. I can't wait to get some car ride stories from the one called Manders.
That's a situation where you're hanging out with Nick Gage and Homicide, and you find yourself in a rough situation at a bar or in a dark alley. Normally I'd be a little scared. That's one situation where I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, we're fine."
I got Nick Gage and Homicide.
We'll be all right.
Anybody who tries to start shit, I think we're okay.
We're fine.
No. So Thursday, a lot of fun. Again, and this is the first night where I don't get much sleep. This becomes a reoccurring theme. Friday, so now we're on to Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm literally pulling up my phone to remember in what order I did shit, because it was insane. So Friday morning.
Last Friday night.
Oh, I did forget to mention the all-in weigh-in, but the only thing from the all-in weigh-in, did you see my picture that I took of the stage? Where they had SCU and the Jurassic Express weigh-in, and I said, "Man, male amateur night at the strip club got a little strange today." But so the first thing Saturday was the Women of AEW panel, which was excellent. So
who's all in that?
Britt Baker, Brandy Rhodes, Nyla, I can't remember, Sadie Gibbs, Allie, and I think that was it. But the star of this panel, by the way, and this is where, along with the epic photo bomb she gave us in our photo op with Jimmy Havoc, Nyla Rose is a star.
Yeah.
She is so charismatic and so funny. She, the first few people on the panel, I think, were Brandy, Britt, and Allie, and they're all being nice to each other. And then Nyla comes out, basically full on in gimmick. And Tony Schiavone's like, "Wow, the mood in the room just changed."
Yeah.
They absolutely crushed it. I forgot my first meet and greet of the day was actually before that. It was Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Again.
Wait, was it Jungle Boy or was it Jungle Jack Perry?
It's Jungle Boy, damn it. God damn it. No. The other great thing, and I've talked about how Starrcast really helps streamline stuff. for the main meet and greet, because there's the AEW meet and greet room. There were the meet and greets in the vendor room, and then there were the meet and greets actually in the meet and greet, like the big time meet and greets, like the Punk meet and greet, Hangman meet and greet was in there. Like the Young Bucks meet and greet. For the main meet and greet rooms, like where we met Hangman, where we met Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, where we met Punk, they actually had a professional photographer, and they had you come in. You get your stuff signed.
Who was it?
It wasn't anybody we knew. Just it was a professional photography company.
Wasn't Bezzy or anything?
I don't know. No, it wasn't photos by Manning.
What?
That's the
That's the only photographer you know.
Yeah. So what this did though, you're not having somebody there fumbling with people's phones. You're not having somebody there. This is where I think Starrcast really stepped up. They took your picture. About an hour later, you went to a Google Drive, downloaded your picture.
Yeah. That to me
was a $1 million idea that made it so much easier. It made everything move a lot faster. Really, the only long line we had to wait in for was CM Punk. But no, so Luchasaurus. Then after that, a bunch of meet and greets. Mance Warner. Gotta love old Mancer. Finally met Nick Gage, who's awesome. Just, dude, Nick Gage is what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
There's no gimmick.
Right.
Nick Gage is Nick Gage.
Right.
Mancer is just Mancer, and Mancer's for the most part is Mancer. Mancer is Mancer. The gimmick of Mance Warner is just Mancer turned up to 11.
Sure.
I mean, he talks the way he talks. He literally, I think he legitimately wears the jacket and the jeans and everything just regularly in public. Met Orange, who was basically kind of staying in character.
Yeah.
But just fun, super fun to meet. It was very nice. I will tell everybody, Effie, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
The hilarious thing about Effie, he's in a crowded corner of the vendor room next to where Joey Ryan is doing his meet and greets, and Joey had an insane line.
Oh, Joey Ryan was there?
Yes. Joey flew in on Thursday, flew out Friday night. He was only there for a few hours. But Joey had a long line, and Effie, kind of funny they had Joey and Effie in the same spot. Just realized that. But Effie, so we were the first people in his line because we were looking for him, couldn't find him. Then he got there a little bit. He'd come from a panel. He'd just come from the Rise panel. And so we got a chance to talk to Effie while he set his stuff up. And then he goes, "Man, it's really crowded in here." And I went, "Yeah, especially when you got two huge, large guys like us," referring to me and Doug. And Effie, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh, don't worry, I love huge men." Effie is, and as we saw, and if you haven't seen Effie work in the ring, obviously the gimmick is, again, for the most part, not a gimmick. The gimmick is a very over the top, amped up, amplified version of his personality, I think. But again, just super nice guy. And I didn't have a bad experience with anyone this year, and as opposed to last year.
Did you have a bad experience with last year?
Buff Bagwell.
Oh,
fuck Buff Bagwell.
Whoa. We don't besmirch Buff Daddy on this podcast network.
But this, yeah. So Effie was great. Then we headed over to the lifestyles of the rich and famous with MJF.
And you didn't have an unpleasant experience here?
I mean, MJF called me a bald, fat oaf. I don't even remember. I may have to get the Fight TV package just to go back and watch this. It was absolutely hilarious. Just MJF being MJF amped up to 11. Ripping on everybody. AJ from the AJ Awesome show, he had him come up to the front to ask a question, and MJF's like, "Hey, little buddy, what's your question?" And right as AJ goes to talk, "I'm not answering a question for a goddamn child," and walks away. There was a guy who stood up to ask a question in a shirt that said Benoit Club. And MJF immediately goes, nope, you're done. I will not allow that to be on Fight TV. Also, guy in the Benoit Club was a douche because he was also vaping all over everyone at Game Changer Wrestling. So fuck him. Yeah, fuck you for wearing a Benoit Club shirt, which is in poor taste, and fuck you for vaping on people because fuck you. Then so MJF's thing didn't go very long. It was scheduled for an hour and a half. I think it went like 40 minutes. So I hopped over to Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling.
Yeah.
And got to see on stage my good friend Nathan from Nathan's Wrestling Review.
Oh, he was there?
Yes, Nathan was there. Fan fiction writer Patty was there.
Okay.
She read a story about sex with Eddie Kingston to Eddie Kingston. Eddie fucking died. Eddie was on stage rolling. He was losing his shit. Eddie was hilarious on stage.
I love Eddie Kingston.
I mean, who does? Oh, dude, Eddie Kingston was talking to Nyla when we went to do our Jimmy Havoc meet and greet, and literally, first thing he does gives Douglas a big hug and gives me kind of the bro hug, but the second Eddie sees us, Eddie was happy to see me and Douglas. So
sure,
old buddies with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah,
always good to see King. No, Game Changer Wrestling Secrets of Spring Break. So it's Joey Janela, Ethan Page, Bryce Rensburg, and then a revolving door of guests. Jimmy Lloyd was on there. Nick Gage basically ran in and cut a promo and told chased off Bryce Rensburg. I fucking hate referees. Get the fuck out of here. So basically, it was them doing watch-alongs. Like, they watched along with the Janela Marty match from Spring Break 1, the Walter PCO match from Spring Break 2, the Clusterfuck from Spring Break 1, and then, of course, Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. So, and then they kind of took some questions, but this thing, Joey Janela does not hold back. This, unfortunately, not on Fight TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the Fight TV, as opposed to last year for the first Starrcast where they recorded it and put everything on it and they had to charge like $100.
Yeah.
Starting with Starrcast 2, they only do the stuff like in the main room and only charge $40 or $50 for it.
Sure.
I really wish this would have been on Fight TV because it was Joey just holds nothing back, lets it all go. Like him talking about work. He's like at this point, Marty Jannetty just started saying stuff that literally was incoherent. Just talking about just ripping on Marty, ripping on people during the first clusterfuck, talking about how drunk Flip Gordon was when he went out to wrestle. I had forgotten in the first clusterfuck, Flip Gordon super kicks teeth literally out of Veda Scott's mouth.
Ooh.
They talked about that. I'm like, I completely forgot that happened. Obviously, they had Jimmy Lloyd up there for the first clusterfuck because it was him. It came down to him and Ethan. The first appearance of the Invisible Man. Basically, just kind of telling little anecdotes and stories. So then, one of my highlights of the weekend, they had a very little time left, so they took some questions, and I got the last question in basically because of my appearance to Bryce, my being known because Bryce was running around taking the questions, and I went Bryce, and I kind of threw my hand up. And he goes, "Okay, gotcha." And he comes over to me for the last question. I said, "Bryce, first thing, I got 2 questions. My first question's for you. What do you know about Iowa, Bryce?" To which Bryce responded, "It's always a party in Iowa," which is a long running joke. And then I looked up and I said, "Yeah, my question is for Brett Lauderdale and Joey Janela. What the hell happened with LA Park?" Little did I know. I essentially gave Brett Lauderdale a therapy session. Brett starts talking, and I'm expecting him to just say, "Oh, he's a douchebag," and all this stuff. Brett Lauderdale went into great detail about why he made the tweet, where essentially he subtweeted Joey when Joey said, "Hey, you forgot to thank LA Park," and Brett had said, "No, I didn't." LA Park agreed to work for Spring Break, then held them up for 3 times the money, made them pay for a luxury Uber from a part of Upper Manhattan, from far away from Jersey, made the Uber stop at a Mexican restaurant and then wait while he went in to eat, costing them a ton of money. Basically, LA Park basically held up GCW for a shit ton of cash. And here's the thing. He went into this whole story. And then Ethan Page said, why did you continue? He said, I almost unbooked. I almost said we're done, but I said, no, we can't do that. We promised him we have to deliver. And Ethan Page posed a question and said, hey, I'm gonna turn this to the fans. If a promoter is in this situation and they say, hey, we're done, would you fans support it? And the crowd popped. And I'm going to say this. I've always been of the opinion, as long as you're transparent about it, if you're in a situation like that as a promoter and somebody's being that much of a fucking asshole, you have every right to say, hey, no, we're done. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
But again, I think as a promoter, you have to be, the thing is with that, you have to be transparent. And there's the old, and it's again, and I think part of that was Ethan. Again, Ethan Page is one of the guys who's battling to try to break down some of the older traditions of the business. And that's one of those things of, oh, we can't bury anybody because then we'll look bad. No, fuck LA Park. He's an asshole. I'm pretty sure somebody on the panel, and I can't remember who it was, said, let Court Bauer deal with his fucking ass. Apparently, I don't know what it is. Court Bauer can get some shit out of people that other people can't, but no. So
Court Bauer's like the asshole whisperer.
He really is, because he has low-key Austin Aries and LA Park.
That sounded so wrong.
I know, but I get what you're saying. But no, fuck LA Park. And so then the panel ends with Invisible Man, where with Invisible Stan, all of a sudden they go, Bryce Remsburg goes, wait, what are you doing here? No, you can't, no. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy Lloyd starts selling punches, and then Ethan Page goes flying, and Joey Janela goes flying. Nate Webb goes flying from the stage into the seats. Invisible Stan attacked everyone.
Nice.
Which was a nice touch that they played up the Invisible. Well, I mean, Invisible Stan. I mean, we don't know where he's going to show up. We just did. I did accidentally kind of skip over one thing that happened Friday, so we'll go back to it. And because this is the big thing.
Oh yeah.
I met DDP. He was in the vendor room, obviously. I went and I said, I got to do it. So I'm going to tell you a difference for them. So I went up and I said to DDP, I need to tell you my story. And so I told him about being there, being inspired by Cody. And I said, I went home and a week later I started DDP Yoga. And at that point, I kind of lost my emotion a little bit. And I started to cry. I said, damn it. And I literally looked up and I said, sorry, said I wasn't going to cry when I did this. He goes, it's okay, man. And I told him I've lost close to 100 pounds in a year. And he said, that's amazing. Gave me a hug. Turned me around so we could take the picture. I just said to everybody waiting in line, I said, hey, just want to give this guy a round of applause. 100 pounds in 1 year. I mean, it's an amazing moment. Obviously, we've talked about this on the show. Getting to meet and thank DDP for what he's helped me to do is very energizing. It was very emotional.
Did you do yoga today?
I didn't get up in time, honestly. Dude, I hadn't had a proper night of sleep in 5 fucking days. Give me a break for one day.
Fair enough.
I will get back on the horse tomorrow. So took the picture, obviously. Got to hold DDP's DDP's WCW World Title. Just getting to meet and thank DDP, obviously. One of the most emotional highlight of the weekend for me.
Sure.
And like I said, I can't say it enough. I mean, that was not the only gift that DDP gave me this weekend. I'm going to jump out over a little bit because Sunday morning got to have a coffee, got to hang out for a minute with the sensei.
Yeah.
The sensei said to tell you hello.
Oh.
Always great to see Sensei Bach. We shared a Starbucks.
Yeah, is this split a coffee?
No, we didn't share it. We both had a Starbucks, I should say.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang.
Yeah, no, we got some Starbucks and
Cheap motherfuckers.
got to hang out for a minute. Literally got to hang out with him as we were kind of walking and talking as he was heading to the DDP Yoga seminar, which I did not do this year. I've made that a goal for myself for Starrcast 4 or 5 or whatever the number is. next year to be able to do the DDP yoga seminar. But no, so that was great. Friday, trying to think. So unfortunately, the Moxley panel gets canceled because Moxley couldn't make it. Obviously, we decided we went back to the room for a little bit to relax. Went and got some McDonald's for dinner because we were in a hurry, and then we headed over to Game Changer Wrestling and Black Label Pro present 2 Cups Stuffed. You didn't watch this show, did you?
No.
Okay. So, obviously, I've talked about my love for Game Changer Wrestling on this show many times. They're essentially turning into the, would you say almost ECW-esque type following at this point? They already show that was a mixture of great wrestling mixed with hardcore, a little, and they do shows that are deathmatch shows. Then there's some, obviously, Nick Gage is their world champion. Essentially, the main event of this was a death match.
Is he still their world champion?
Yes. It's going to be a big deal when somebody finally beats Nick Gage for that title, because he's been the champion for almost 2 years. This show, and this was and I saw 2 live shows this weekend, both great, but also both very different. This was one of the most balls out, insane wrestling shows I have ever been to. And even before the show, there's a couple highlights. I got to meet Alley Cat for the first time.
Yeah.
I'd been to shows with her, but we never actually met. We met our friend of a friend. Again, Dr. Dan has 2 cats. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well,
that's
wouldn't say it like that, Regal.
Bad. No, I did not realize that our friend Christina, the high voltage cat, actually is roommates with Alley Cat until after I took the picture and sent it to you guys. That sounds terrible.
Keep going. I gotta get an antacid.
Oh God.
Throw up over here.
So no, got to meet Alley Cat, and then this was turned out to be the one and only time. Got to hang out for a few minutes with our fellow Slam Fam compatriot, our leader of Ringside Chat, Mr. Gary Freeland, who was also at 2 Cups. This show was absolutely packed. This was one of the most electric atmospheres, because I think you had the fly-ins for Starrcast, you had the locals, you had the Black Label Pro faithful, you had there were over 800 people at this show.
Fuck.
It was great. This venue,
there was only 42 people.
No, there were more than that.
Isn't that what Jimmy said?
Well, fuck Jimmy.
Yeah.
No, there was not Jimmy Havoc. We love Jimmy Havoc.
Lloyd.
Not Jimmy Lloyd. We love Jimmy Lloyd too. But this show absolutely just everything. There was a Lucha Trios. The Lucha Trios match on this show was possibly one of the most insanely awesome. I mean, it's Lucha. They were a little sloppy. There were some spot issues. There were a little sloppiness. But this match just balls to the wall insane.
Blaine's been booking a lot more Lucha guys lately.
Because in Chicago, Lucha will definitely draw. Black Taurus is a fucking superstar.
Yeah.
There is no way a man as big as he is should be able to move the way he does.
How long before he gets signed over?
Oh, it's only a matter of time. Black Taurus is a luchador that can do lucha stuff that is about the size of, I'm going to say probably Rusev.
Oh, really?
Is a good comparison for his body type.
Yeah.
Just not the tallest guy in the world, but just built like a tank. Like bigger size Bray Wyatt almost, almost a more Jack Bray, like Husky Harris type.
Sure.
And just can do insane lucha spots. They did some spots in this match that you can go out, you can find the clips on Twitter if you want to look for them. Go get this show on Fight TV. You got Jerry Lawler come out versus Jerry Lawler versus Vince Warner, and I kind of had a feeling how this was going to go. Lawler comes out and starts to cut the promo and says, "Hey, this show reminds me of something I did once. back in 1997, I went to this place called ECW, and it stood for Extremely Crappy Wrestling. And we got 1997 heel Jerry Lawler promo versus Mance Warner. And this match, Lawler bumped his ass off.
Really?
Yes. They brawled. There were beer bottles. They were throwing trash on each other. Lawler did way more than I thought. I thought this was going to be like a Tracy Smothers, Nate Webb thing where they just did promos and then did like a 2-minute match. Lawler worked his ass off. So kudos to Jerry.
Gosh, can you imagine fucking knowing what a fan Mance is of the old school?
I talked to Mance about it when we did the meet and greet, and he was super. You could tell he was super excited. He said, "Oh, dude, gonna be fucking amazing. We're gonna tear this shit up." And you could tell he was super excited. Go ahead.
Did One Call do anything on the show?
No, he was there.
Okay.
But the doors, ladders, and
I thought I read that he did something on the show. But no.
The doors, ladders, and chairs match was absolutely insane. Get well soon wishes again to G Raver. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a theme. G Raver got a bad headlock and you can go see this in ringside. If you remember ringside chat and you haven't seen Gary's video of this, Raver took a bump off of a ladder on the back of his head onto another ladder that was just insane. Matthew Justice is a madman.
Yeah.
Matthew Justice climbs a wall, commando lines himself out a support beam, and then just drops. Jesus. Shane Mercer and Logan Stunt recreated the Bam Bam Bigelow Spike Dudley spot.
Oh, they did?
They have all the wrestlers on one side of the ring, and you think he's just going to press slam onto that. Nope. Mercer turns, runs the other way, and throws Logan Stunt into the crowd, and they body surf him around. This match was, it was a little sloppy, but if you just want to see fucking crazy ass wrestling, this shit was insane. You had main event, and I'm skipping over matches because this show is gonna go long as hell. We haven't even got to All Out yet. And we haven't got to the other big story of the weekend.
What's the other big story of the weekend?
Joey. But the main event, Nick Gage. So me and Douglas had already kind of had a play because it's almost 2 a.m. at this point on Friday. It was 2 a.m. on Saturday. And we got to get up early on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave our seats. We're gonna go stand basically by the entryway to the building to get out quick for the main event. But I said, okay, before we go that way, we're going this way. I had to get myself into a position to be close to the action. Because the second the gong and for whom the bell toll starts,
yeah,
being in essentially what is a mosh pit,
yeah,
for a Nick Gage entrance. And keep in mind, I have been a fan of Nick Gage since about 2003. From old school CZW videos, IWA stuff, everything. This is the first time I've ever gotten to see Nick Gage actually wrestle live.
Yeah.
Gage, you feel with that Game Changer crowd, the energy, he has a connection with that fan base that is very rare. And he comes out and they're screaming, they're basically a mosh pit. There's no way to not feel that adrenaline. So this happens. To tell you how amped up I am, I'm walking by. I give him and I see the one called Manders. Me and Manders, double high five. I just yell in his face, Nick fucking Gage, baby! We're walking by the commentary table. Dave Prazak's doing commentary, sticks his hand out to me and Doug. We shake hands. I literally just yell, Nick fucking Gage! So amped up.
For sure.
This match, again, absolutely crazy, insane. Just, there were panes of glass. There were doors. Effie's Effie's back was cut all to hell because Effie, Nick Gage dresses for death matches. He wears a shirt, he wears some jean shorts. Effie wore his gear.
Right.
Effie had no protection. Nick Gage's head was super busted open, bloody. It was pretty insane. Amazing match. I will probably eventually get this show on Fight. Actually, I may wait and get a Blu-ray copy of this show. Just to remember it. I missed Gage's promo because we headed out. We're not because the mass exodus on this crowd's going to be insane. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's get back to the hotel. Let's try to get some sleep.
How far were you guys? How far was the Game Changer show from the hotel?
Okay, so Game Changers building, they actually ran in Hoffman Estates.
Yeah.
They were literally 3 minutes from the Sears Center. Or about 5 minutes probably. So Hoffman Estates to Schaumburg is about a 10-minute drive down the interstate. So really close. And keep in mind, it was 2 a.m, so the interstate was empty.
Right.
So no traffic delays. So we got back. A lovely, wonderful, about 3 hours of sleep. I got about 4 hours of sleep. At this point, I've had, since Wednesday, probably 12 to 14 hours of sleep in 3 days. And it's going to get worse. Saturday morning, up early. First thing, Mick Foley stage show. Well, Mick Foley stage. Or no, first thing was going to talk to Sensei Bach because he was on his way to the DDP Yoga seminar. Then went to the Foley stage show, and then the main event of the weekend for as far as Q&A panels, the best in the world, CM Punk.
A guy who you've said horrible things about on this podcast.
I'm going to talk about this. So, Punk gets on stage and essentially is an open book. Very relaxed. Interviewed by Mike Johnson, which I'll not even say my... Now, trust me, I said a few choice words when he walked on stage. I thought JR was doing the panel. I've also... everybody knows we've been pretty critical of Mike Johnson in the past from PW Insider. Punk is an open book and basically goes through the stories. Obviously, some of the stuff we've heard. Some
Punk
of it
picked Mike Johnson.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So some of the stories we've heard, some of the stuff we hadn't, but basically, you get the sense after watching this that Punk is in a place in his life. He was calm. He was relaxed. Mike Johnson essentially asked him. First off, they didn't waste any time. They got right into it. He said, "Are you going to be at All Out?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm not going to be at All Out." He said, "My lovely wife, Ape." I love the fact he calls her Ape. He said, "Ape's been in LA for 6 days, so I haven't seen her for a week. So I'm gonna go hang out with her tonight, relax, spend some quality time with my wife." Just talked about his movies that he has two major theatrical movies coming out.
Really?
One's a horror movie that like a remake of a horror classic. I can't remember the name of it. That apparently got a standing ovation at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
The other one is The Girl on the Third Floor, which the trailer just came out for, and it looks actually really, really good. The main thing that we caught that he said was, Mike Johnson asked him, if the WWE calls, because they went through the whole thing of him leaving WWE, he said, if Triple H or Vince McMahon would call you, would you listen? He said, "Yeah, I'll have a conversation. I'll have a conversation with anybody. But I have no plans to return." The one thing he did, Mike Johnson told him that, because one of the big things was he'd asked for time off and they wouldn't give it to him. He said, "Oh, well, they get time off now." He goes, "Yeah, Seth and Becky just got engaged. They took 2 weeks off. Finn Balor got married. He's taking a couple months off." And CM Punk, it literally broke Punk for a second. He goes, "They get time off?" And he's got this wide-eyed look, and he just kind of stares at him for a minute. He goes, "Wow, I kind of want to go back now just so I can ask for time off." That became kind of a running joke. He's like, "I want to go back so I can ask for time off." No, this was... And from what I saw of it, this was a very informative, very relaxed, just great Q&A. Eventually, I'd love to get this on Fight TV. I have a feeling when they do release the a la carte events that this is probably going to be like $20. It'll almost be worth it just to buy the entire package to get this.
Yeah.
Because this was the main event. This was the only Q&A that filled the hall.
Yeah, you've
obviously.
seen that, yeah.
So we left early because we had the afternoon session up for the CM Punk meet and greet. And obviously having tickets to All Out, we didn't want to be in a situation where we were going to be, getting there, as we wanted to get there before doors were open and all that. So we had plenty of time to get in the building, and I wanted to kind of go. And I knew I had some friends that were coming just for All Out that I wanted to go see if I could find and all that. And we wanted to get some food because obviously we were, 5 hours in a building. We wanted to grab some food beforehand. So we left the panel. The panel was supposed to run for 90 minutes. We left the panel.
Yeah.
There was already a huge line and apparently part of the issue was Punk. The line was for his morning for Punk he did a morning meet and greet, his Q&A, and then the meet and greet. They had about 40 to 50 people that didn't get through in the morning session that had to come back. So they were redlined right to the front of the line, obviously, since they'd already been in line for. So the only wait we had, we left the panel early because we didn't want to have to try to run, after that panel to try to get in line. The panel runs. He was supposed to do an hour and a half. He did an hour and 50 minutes of taking questions.
Yeah.
And then went from the panel directly to the meet and greet.
Gotcha.
I talked to Don West Sunday, and he said Punk went essentially for them 7 hours without a break. Said he couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been more personal.
What was Don West works for Starrcast?
Don West runs the merch for Starrcast.
Oh.
Literally, they literally have what's called the Don West deals table.
Nice.
And Punk signed like 300 extra of the posters that we got for the meet and greet.
Yeah.
So even though we left early, we were in line because we left early.
Yeah.
We were in line for 3 hours.
Holy shit.
To meet Punk. This was the only time, and had we not left early, we'd have been in line for possibly. I think he said he was supposed to stop at 3.
Yeah.
It was supposed to stop. It was supposed to run from 1:30 to 3. I think was this time that he had time that they had allotted.
Yeah.
He signed autographs till almost 5.
Wow.
And said he was completely cool with it. Because one of the reasons he gave every fan, a little bit of time. They didn't rush. It wasn't like the Kenny and Coda one last year.
Right.
They let the fans talk to him. I obviously in a situation like that, I always try to be mindful. I kept my conversation brief, which we'll go to that. So there was a hilarious bit during the while waiting in line. There was a gentleman, and you can find this guy online if you want to see it, because some people recorded it. Stone Cold E.T. There was a gentleman in an E.T. mask and dressed like, in a Stone Cold Steve Austin cosplay with an E.T. mask. And he was going around the meet and greet room, just basically pretending to be Stone Cold. Stone Cold E.T. And eventually security had to remove him.
What the fuck?
I'm like, I said to, because I ended up making friends with one of the security guys, because he helped us out on Saturday figuring out where all the Game Changer guys were going to be for their meet and greets.
Yeah.
Because we had gone downstairs and they weren't there, and we're like, what's going on? They were all just getting back from panels and stuff. So he was one of the guys working security for the Punk thing, and I said, why didn't you just throw him out sooner? He said, we had to wait to get confirmation to go ahead and remove him. I said, what's that conversation sound like? Hey, Conrad, I got a problem. We get permission to remove Stone Cold ET. What? Like, yeah, there's a Stone Cold ET. Badgers people, we need to remove him. Doug went through, talked to Punk.
Did Punk remember him?
Absolutely fucking not.
Oh, really?
No. And I didn't expect CM Punk to. Like, Eddie Kingston has seen us in a few years. We probably haven't seen Punk in 10 years. Like, if I could sit down and have a conversation with him and remind him, he'd probably remember who I was after talking to him for a little bit.
You know who he probably would remember?
Oh.
Johnny Wisdom.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, I said I talked about watching him since RCW and stuff with him.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I forgot. He's like, I forgot most of that. No, I will tell you this,
all
folks.
the drugs, man.
Yeah, sure. All the Pepsi, too much Pepsi.
Too much Pepsi.
Somebody
What's
here?
that mean?
Somebody here. CM Punk could not have been nicer. Could not have been just. He seems like he's in such a great place in his life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this, folks. For me, that experience from the Q&A to the meet and greet was catharticism and closure. You will never hear me once again utter the words FCM Punk.
Did you ask him to unblock me?
I did not ask him to unblock us. I didn't want to open that can of worms. If I ever like see him in public or anything, I might ask if it's a situation like that. But no, but folks, it was cathartic. This to me, it's a closure thing, and I've realized, you know, I'll say this: if I leave Walmart tomorrow, nobody's going to say, "Oh, how dare he leave Walmart?" If you decide to quit teaching to go to clown college, nobody's going to say. Well, they might say you're stupid for going to clown college, but nobody's going to say, "Oh my God, how dare you quit teaching?" Why do we do it to pro wrestlers? This man was burned out. He talked about it. His emotional and physical health was in bad shape when he walked out.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm going to die if I stay here," and I think he truly believed that. And maybe he might have. We don't know. He did what was best for him. Why do we as wrestling fans take it and think that he's supposed to? He owes
I
us
don't
something.
think it was what he did. I think people had issue with how he did it.
I think it maybe a little bit of issue, but I mean, if you're in that place,
Yeah.
do what's best for you, for your life. He's happy. He's healthy. He looks great. He looks. Honestly, this when I saw him up close and personal, it might have been the best I'd ever seen him.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's doing movies. He's doing MMA commentary. He's very happy. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. He's living his life. Well, it seems like he's pretty much living his best life, man. Let it go. If he wants to come back to wrestling, he'll come back. If he doesn't want to, which I don't think he really wants to, he's not going to. So, I'm going to say it. CM Punk, I love you, man. Thank you for everything you gave me. Thank you for being essentially being the main spearhead for me to deep dive into independent wrestling. And it was great to meet him. I'm very happy that I got to meet him.
Have you been on shows with him before?
Yeah. But literally, we talked about this on the show. Punk was on the second indie show I ever went to. And seeing him and the way he cut a promo and the way the persona and everything is what kind of, and I think that's why I may have been a little bitter for a long time, but I'm not anymore. It's cool, man. Punk, you're a great dude. Thank you for everything. And I wish you well. And hopefully I see him down the road somewhere. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But great thing. So after that, obviously, headed straight to the Sears Center for All Out. Got to meet up with Ryan, my friends Ryan and Katie, who were in the suite with us last year. Kind of had a little quick tailgate with them, and then headed up. Again, Sears Center, great facility, great place. The line was insane to get in, obviously.
Yeah.
But they are super efficient. The line moves very quickly. Able to get in. They thankfully, again, you learn things as you go. they tripled the amount of merch stands from All Out, All In to All Out. The lines at the merch stands were still insane. I did not get any merch at All Out. I didn't want to wait in line, but made our way to the seats. We're getting long already, and we still got more stuff to talk about. So,
go ahead.
We'll go through.
We don't need to go match by match. I don't think.
I will say this, man. The buy-in starts 6:00. Justin Roberts is in the ring at 6:01. Man, they're in the ring.
Yeah.
I love that. Don't waste any goddamn time. I thought this was. A lot of people said this was the. Did you think this was the best buy-in?
Yeah.
Okay. The women's match. Again, it's a battle royal. It was pretty basic. I mean, obviously, nothing's gonna beat the over-budget battle royal from All In.
What do you think about the casino battle royal concept?
I like the concept. It's something different.
I like that it's something different. I'm not sure I actually like the concept because I think I'm with a lot of people that the whole like entering 5 people at a time thing it makes the entrances a little less special.
Here's the thing: we couldn't really hear the audio of Justin very well during the pre-show.
I didn't know who some of the girls were.
I legitimately did not realize Nicole Savoy was in there until she got eliminated.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the issue too. When you have 5 people coming out, especially if you have to consider for a new audience, for somebody that didn't follow the indies, they're not going to know who a lot of these women are. So it's hard to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the first group comes out. Nyla eliminates all of them.
Yeah.
Before the second group comes out. I thought that was a great touch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Get Nyla over.
Yeah.
And I had said before, there's no way Nyla's not winning this match.
Yeah.
So as soon as Nyla was in the first group, I'm like, I kind of had a feeling that was what was about to happen. They gave in that 5-minute period, they gave the girls their shine.
To an extent, yeah.
They obviously you had Aliva, and what did you think of the walking on the book spot?
Obviously they're not real librarians because a real librarian would never allow you to walk on a book.
I will say this: over the course of the weekend, between BTE Mailbag, Cody, they were constantly making reference to, hey, you guys all love the librarians, right?
Isn't the Librarians a show on TNT?
Well, it is a show on TNT, and I kind of wonder is that kind of part of the joke. It became, if there was any doubt, the Librarian's gimmick is a troll job. It's meant for comedy. It's meant to be. I think it's meant comedy where it's meant to be bad.
I just don't think it's funny enough.
Yeah. And I'm wondering where the payoff's going to come from, but obviously they know that the Librarians is kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. This is not a serious gimmick. Penelope Ford was in there and did some athletic shit. She looked cool. I'm trying to remember who was even in this goddamn battle royal.
It's okay. We don't need to go elimination by elimination. Anybody stand out to you in the battle royal?
I mean, obviously Nyla.
Sure.
I mean, your mainstay AEW women, I think, were the focus here.
Sure. What did you think of Sadie Gibbs?
Really athletic. She was on the panel, so she was very well spoken on the panel. Again, a woman who's had very limited pro wrestling experience, but was a fitness competitor. She is obviously super athletic, and she is a woman that they're going to try to bring in.
Do you think putting Teal Piper in there was a mistake?
Okay, so here's the deal. You could clearly tell Teal Piper has barely started training.
Yeah.
She is very attractive. I will say that. It's name value. She was okay. She was not. You could tell she was green, very green. But
do you think she made a call this week?
To who?
Hey, Rhonda, is there any way I can borrow my dad's jacket?
Yeah. But no, she was okay. I mean, obviously the name value there.
I thought she was too green to really.
Yeah, they didn't.
And
do
you know, that's on them for letting her do that much. I'm not saying don't put her in there because, we've had Refrigerator Perry and, we've had celebrities in Battle Royals in the past, so it's not unprecedented, but then you control how much they do in the Battle Royal and you don't let them...
the one thing that I was really...
You don't let them expose
So there's one thing I was really happy for in this Battle Royal, and I got to shout it out. A huge pop for ODB.
Yeah.
I was so happy for the huge pop for ODB. I worked shows with Jessica. Jessica actually remembers me and Douglas.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where I think she remembers, she knows us, but can't remember from where. And then we have to remind her. Usually, we'll say, "Hey, yeah, we work for No Limits and for Ian." Oh, yeah. But no, we saw her on Wednesday because she was obviously there early, setting up the food truck and all that. I got some amazing barbecue. That food truck is a hell of a barbecue. Let me tell you.
Oh, does she have a food truck?
Yeah, she owns a food truck. It's ODB's something barbecue. I can't remember what the whole full title is. But yeah, she runs a barbecue food truck.
Is that in Chicago or?
I think she lives around Nashville, but they've had her come to every Starrcast with the food truck. They had that, and they had an ice cream truck this year.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Did they have WWF ice cream bars?
No, they did not, unfortunately.
What the fuck?
But no, she makes some great barbecue. She has this thing I love. She'll do like barbecue pulled pork nachos, pork and everything. I love this thing she has. Regal. She calls it ODB's cup, and of course the big one is double D sized.
Yeah.
There's A cup, B cup, double D size. She takes barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, and then puts a pickle in it, and basically you just mash it all up together and eat it. It's barbecue, and it's a barbecue meal in a cup basically, and it's I got 2 of them this weekend. They're excellent.
Sounds fucking amazing.
It's tasty.
Gosh, you're making me hungry. I want some barbecue.
But
is there a barbecue place in the Quad Cities?
It's a few. Jim's Rib Haven in Rock Island's the best one. But so big pop for ODB. I was really happy for. Private Party. We talked about this before we even went on the air. Private Party versus Angelico and Jack. Decent match. I think they're slowly building up Private Party. They're gonna wrestle.
I think decent's pretty generous.
I thought the match was fine. They're gonna do Young Bucks versus Private Party on week 1, which I heard the match they had at House of Glory was amazing. I'm sure that this match is gonna be great.
See, I don't know. I
think I have a sensitive feeling that's gonna be your opening match week 1. That's gonna be the opening match of the TV. It's gonna be Private Party versus the Bucks.
My feeling is I've never really cared for Jack Evans and Angelico. I think they've always been sloppy as shit, and I think that the Private Party guys are just still a little bit too green to not be in there with somebody who can carry them and be a little bit more comfortable. So when they're in there against a team that's as sloppy as fucking Jack Evans and Angelico, they just weren't setting up Private Party to be successful, which is a book. That was a bad booking. They should have never been paired together.
Yeah. So after that we had. So now we're to the main show.
Yep.
Obviously, big opening video that everybody loved. It was big. At this point, the building's just electric. Opening match, and I said it off the air. Guys, the SCU should open every AEW pay-per-view ever. These guys, the second you hear that SCU come over the thing, the fans are pumped up. Obviously, you get this is the worst town I've ever been in. SCU chants. Daniel's on the mic. Everybody's happy. And then, one of the best, and thankfully we put the pay-per-view on while we're recording this because I had not seen the entrance. We saw the entrance video where they had, where you saw the cup shake for the dinosaurs walking.
Yeah.
I did not realize the one time that they shook a camera in AEW, which I think is kind of funny. They actually had the camera shake for the dinosaur, so they're looking at the ring, and then you hear the dinosaur stomp, and then the shake of the camera. For what's now called the Jurassic Express a little boy, a boy, and his dinosaur.
Yeah.
This match was great. Excellent, super fun 6-man to open it. Jungle Boy is great. I mean, this dude's not the biggest guy in the world, but god damn it, dude, he is ripped.
Yeah.
He is JT energy level of body fat. Marco is great as the funny comedy guy in this team, and then Luchasaurus, aka Judas Draven, aka Austin Mahone, is an absolute fucking superstar in the making. And I'll say it, guys, Nick, Matt, Cody, Kenny, don't fuck this up. Please. Let him do the tag team thing for a little bit, but the fans are already behind him. He, like, with the shit that he can do with his size, people were going absolutely insane. This guy can, I mean, obviously, this is a guy that went through NXT, was on Lucha Underground, has gone through the Indies. He's had a journey in wrestling, and obviously his work rates were. I thought if you go back and watch, he's on a few early NXT episodes. Pretty good. I remembered him when I saw him on Big Brother a few years ago. Obviously, he was also on Big Brother. Tore his bicep in NXT, got released, went back to the Indies, kept working. This is a guy that has superstar potential. The crowd absolutely ate up everything he did in this match, and we saw it in Fight for the Fallen too. You pull the trigger on this guy, strap a rocket to him, because damn it, he's good. This again, fun opener. I was completely shocked. The next matchup, Kenny Omega and Pac. And again, I'm not going to go into this for long. Have we been saying it wrong the entire time, or are they just changing the name? We don't know, but they referred to him as Pac the entire show, apparently.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they just did it. I thought maybe Justin Roberts just screwed up because I was obviously you can't hear the commentary in the arena. Apparently not.
Well, somebody said that his nickname was Pac when he was training because he had a 6-pack.
Maybe.
But we being used to X-Pac, just called him Pac.
So here's the thing with this match. I like this match. It wasn't the end-all, be-all. I think the problem is, with Kenny Omega, are we expecting Omega Okada every time out now?
Well, I think...
Are our expectations so high that we're being let down?
Well, it's a second match, too, versus a main event. And Kenny might be pacing himself for that very reason.
And I feel like that might have been played into this match a little bit. They went 22 minutes. It was a good match. It wasn't the barn burner of a match that I think I built this match up in my head to be. Yeah. But it wasn't bad.
The end was sloppy.
And that maybe something happened. I don't know if they messed something up or what, but the end got a little bit sloppy. But overall, a decent match. Obviously, I'm excited anytime I'm going to get to see Kenny Omega wrestle. So, especially live. And getting to see Pac's AEW debut, which I think, and Pac went over here in a, Kenny tapped out to his submission. He
passed out, didn't he?
Passed out to, God, what do they call it?
I don't know.
The brutalizer, I think. Basically, and here's the thing. Kenny's already over. I don't think a loss here hurts him, but I think a loss would have hurt Pac more. Yeah. So I think they made the smart booking decision. And you obviously have big plans for Pac. They had Pac come in and interrupt Hangman Page's press conference during the post show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So you think we'll get that at Full Gear?
He said we have unfinished business, so I'm guessing that's going to be a match at Full Gear.
Who do you put Jericho against at Full Gear?
Well, if you're going to do Kenny and Moxley, I don't know. That's a good question. We'll see.
Maybe Cody?
Maybe Cody if you're not going to go do another Shawn Spears match. I could see that.
I think if they were going to do another Shawn Spears match, they should have had Spears,
they would have Spears go over. Well, we're jumping the gun there a little bit, but because they did have the gimmick where before like Double or Nothing, where Jericho attacked QT, Kenny's personal assistant, and beat the shit out of him. So that might come into play at some point. You never know. It's gonna be an interesting thing.
Okay, so here's another question. Does Jericho have to defend the title every pay-per-view?
That's an interesting question, too, because nobody says he does. Also, keep in mind, we don't know who Jericho's 2 mystery partners are yet. So...
I'm assuming it's the Wild Democrats.
But, we'll get into that. So, next matchup, Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin versus Joey Janela. This thing was great.
Mm-hmm.
These guys went out there. You knew what you were getting going into this. You were going to get a hardcore match. The three guys who work that style in this company. And obviously, this is a style they're going to showcase because WWE basically has gone away from it.
Yeah.
And this is going to help hopefully bring back some of those lapsed fans. And you've got guys like Joey, Darby. They put them all in this match for a reason. And these guys shined.
Yeah.
Obviously, and they made this match sponsored by Cracker Barrel, which of course that's a callback to last year where Janela and Hangman had the match with the Cracker Barrel that was sponsored by Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
With the barrels and all that. They took it one step further. They had a cup of they had thumbtacks in a Cracker Barrel cup that they put in Jimmy Havoc's mouth.
Yeah.
They had the barrels. I really thought when he went up, that barrel was open on one side. I really thought he was going to put the barrel over himself and then do the coffin drop.
Yeah.
He put the barrel behind his back and then did the coffin drop onto the stairs. I am legitimately worried. Darby Allin's going to be having spinal surgery in 5 years.
Yeah, and how old is he?
Like in his early 20s. That man's back is made of steel, or I worry about Darby. He's already toned it down.
Yeah.
Because he used to tape a steel chair to his back. He does not do that anymore.
Jesus Christ.
But no, this guy's reckless. I mean, a little reckless. But I think that's his gimmick, and he plays into it. Obviously, again, just meeting him, very nice guy. But again, the gimmick essentially is his personality turned up to 11. Which, again, that seems to be a running theme in AEW, with the exception of maybe like the Librarians, the Dark Order. Obviously, Austin Mahone is not really a dinosaur.
What?
But I love the fact that for the most part, the gimmicks in AEW are, and this is the Eric Bischoff school of what made the NWO work. They made them real people. Wrestling, I think that's how they can differentiate from WWE is no hokey shit for the most part. Just
I don't think WWE's that hokey right now.
There's still a lot of hokiness.
Like what?
Not so much in the characters, but just in the way they tell their stories.
Oh, sure.
But no, this match, a fun match. So you've had these two big matches, and then we kind of get to the middle portion of the show that was a little. This is where the show I think kind of it almost took a mid-show break for a second, essentially without taking a break.
Did you feel like a lot of the matches were too long?
They could have tightened this show up. They probably could have cut at least a half hour. They didn't need to go 22 minutes on Kenny and Pac. They didn't need to go 14. The tag match, this next tag match goes 14 minutes. Dark Order versus Best Friends. The match is fine.
Yeah.
But at this point, this is where you started to see a lot of fans going to the restroom, a lot of fans going to the concession stand, going back to the merch table if they hadn't gone yet. The match was fine. Dark Order gets the win. Obviously, the winner gets a first round bye. Again, if you had...
AKA a first round match.
And the Best Friends had to wrestle a match to get into this match to get a first round bye that they then lose.
A qualifying match for a match to get a bye.
Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, the boogie of this literally makes no sense. Also, I love Stu Grayson and Evil Uno.
Yeah. But
the Goons thing and all that, the Dark Order is just not over with the fans. You're going to have to change this up. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's not connecting. And I guess this is probably going to be the first test where we see, are they going to stick to what they said? You either get over or get out. Because the reason that they're there is because Uno and Grayson have been friends with the Bucks for years. Well, I mean, obviously, they made one change for get over or get out.
What's that?
Marvez isn't there. Thank God. Golden Boy was amazing, from what I've heard. So, and
I'm not comfortable saying amazing, but he was
great. He was better than again
okay.
I could shit out a turd that can commentate better than Marvez. So, but no, this match was okay. The post match, it looks like the Goons and the Dark Order are going to kidnap Trent Beretta. The lights go out. There's a blackout. And the lights come back on. And standing in the middle of the ring, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. To a huge, gigantic pop. I mean, one of the biggest pops of the night from this crowd. And, of course, hands in his pockets. Orange comes off the... Sunglasses on. Orange comes off the ropes. Does a suicide dive onto the Dark Order. Rolls back into the ring. Hands in his pockets still. Kips up. Hands in his pockets the entire time. The best friends get in the ring. I guess commentary did put over the connection that Orange was trained by Chuck Taylor at Chikara.
Okay.
All this stuff. And then the best friends do the best friends embrace with Orange in the middle. Orange, of course, no selling everything because he's Orange Cassidy. If this is going to be a trio going forward, and please let them call them the Gentleman's Club, this is perfect shit. They're going to be able to do some amazing comedy. And again, you can do comedy in wrestling and have it not just hit, we're going to hit you over the head with it like WWE does. Again, it's going to be a different style of comedy, but you can do comedy. I forgot to mention one of my favorite spots of the night in the Triple Threat.
What's that?
Joey Janela goes under the ring to get a weapon.
Yeah.
Pulls out a tennis racket. Stares at it with a look of disgust and then just throws it away.
Nice.
Yeah. But no. So this was good. Up next, Riho versus Hikaru Shida. Again, I thought this match was really good. But you haven't done a good job yet of explaining Joshi to your fans.
Yeah, they haven't. They haven't conditioned the fans on what Joshi is at all.
And I think you need to have Tony or Golden Boy or somebody do some old school Mike Tenay type, like the videos that Mike Tenay did to explain Lucha Libre when they brought in the Luchadors in WCW. Do this. Get some footage from Stardom. Get some video from Tokyo Joshi Pro. Find some videos from All Japan Women on YouTube when All Japan Women used to run huge stadium shows. Show the history of Joshi. Now, because these girls are some of the best wrestlers on the planet, but if you don't explain them to your fans, if you don't give them a reason to care, they're not going to.
Right.
I think this is one of the few missteps that AEW's kind of made. Because you have, and this match, I watched this match. I'd already hit the restroom, and hit the line to get some vodka lemonade. I will tell you this much. I will say one thing, and I'm just gonna say it. Hikaru Shida is a very fetching young lady. She is, because I also saw her at Starrcast. She is beautiful. Riho is obviously very attractive as well, and both great wrestlers. I know Shida. I'm not sure about all the rest of the Joshis. I know Shida is moving to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So she will be a regular performer on weekly TV. So
I think Riho would be too, maybe with the level that they're pushing.
Plus, you have to remember, Riho was Kenny's tag partner in DDT.
Right.
And they're pushing her. It's going to be her versus Nyla. I have a feeling, though, I will tell you right now, if they're smart, that match goes about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And Nyla just is going to destroy her. You build up Nyla.
Yeah.
You build her up as the native beast, as the monster. Nyla, absolutely, for every single reason, as far as she is the breakout star of this division. She should be the first champion.
I hate to say, I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say right now,
yeah,
she's the only star in this division.
Well, and again, you have to build this up. You have to make Britt's okay.
I'm talking purely from
the build up that AEW's given it.
A perspective standpoint from who seems like a star. I'm not talking about who's talented. I'm not talking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh, all these women are talented.
Yeah, exactly.
They've done a great job of building a women's division roster. They had 21 women on the show. Now, not all of them are signed to contracts.
They had 23 women on the show.
23 women on the show, and not all of them are signed to contracts. But
right.
Obviously.
Well, what did you think of Eva Lise being there?
I hope they sign her to a contract. I think she's
didn't she just signed with or not Eva Lise, I'm sorry.
Tenille. Okay, so Tenille is on an appearance deal with Impact. Okay. She is not signed to an Impact contract. That's how she was able to be in this Battle Royal.
Gotcha.
So, and I want them to sign Ivelisse Velez to a contract. She is an amazing performer. So
Didn't she have some heat?
she got some. She's one of those women that's gotten heat from multiple places in the past, but she's a great performer. And if she's willing to do business, I would absolutely think she would be an asset. But no, Nyla is by far your breakout star right now, and I think she absolutely, without a doubt, should be the first AEW Women's Champion.
Sure.
Then we had Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. This a lot of people didn't. So okay, and this is where live versus on TV I think is going to tell the story. A lot of people didn't like this match from what I saw. What did you think?
It felt like a Raw main event to me.
I absolutely love this match.
Like, and I'm not saying it was bad. Like, if it was the Raw main event, I'm like, oh, it was a good main event. But it just didn't feel special. It just was like, well, okay, it was there, it happened, sure.
And keep in mind, and I've already, and there's again some of the people in our circle that give me shit, give it to me for the reason of Cody's my dude. Everybody knows this. I love obviously Cody gave me a major source of inspiration in the last year. I will always defend Cody. I think he's a hell of a performer. I think he's a great, amazing storyteller. He may not be the level of wrestler that a Kenny Omega or a Pac or...
this is why I was disappointed, is because I think at the last couple AEW events, Cody's matches have been my favorites, and this one was just kind of there. I felt like.
Well, and because they did a lot of story, they did a lot of Gaga. You had... by the way, even before the match, whoever shot that video, give them a goddamn award. I think... Did they hire Mondo? Because that felt like Mondo.
Which video?
The backstage video. Just all them walking.
Yeah.
And where it starts with Brandy and Pharaoh, and then DDP walks in, then Max walks in, because the whole gimmick going into the match was that Cody could only have one person at ringside. Also, and again, it sounds like Brandy was a little upset. They didn't think this through. If you're going to have Pyro in your entrance, you cannot have Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, I could see into the tunnel. Pharaoh freaked out.
Oh, I mean, we could see it too. Dallas had to kind of push him out.
Yeah, and you saw Cody immediately have to get down and kind of take an extra second with Pharaoh to calm him down.
Yeah.
And once again, over the course of the weekend, Pharaoh was a goddamn star everywhere he went.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you don't. If you're going to use Pyro, don't. And I'll just say that because I think some people got a little bit heavy on it. I just don't think it was something they thought about, or at least have Pharaoh far enough back and then quickly rush him out after the Pyro. If you're going to do it, figure out some way to do that.
Yeah.
No.
What did you think? So, this is weird, and this is something that Gary and I were talking about. Is I could kind of tell, but I could tell. But it was clear to me that they were trying not to film it as much as it was happening. MJF was basically babyface in this whole thing.
Okay, so the whole gimmick here, and they literally played this up the entire weekend throughout Starrcast, that MJF and Cody are best friends.
Right.
So essentially, when when they started his panel, they had this hilarious pre-roll video of Cody. They're in Cody's like the boardroom thing at the which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, do you know where the AEW offices are?
They're in Tampa, aren't they?
No.
Are they in Atlanta?
They're in Smyrna, Georgia. They're in the DDP Yoga Performance Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the videos for like Road to All Out and all that, they're on the same stage that DDP is on when I'm doing yoga. A lot of people don't realize that. They're using essentially because they all live right, because Smyrna is right outside of Atlanta where they all live.
Right.
So they're actually using, and they already have the built-in production studio and all that. So a lot of the stuff that they're shooting in the DDPY Performance Center. So yeah, they did this hilarious video where they do a Skype call a video call with Conrad.
Yeah.
And MJF apologizes in front of Cody.
I saw that
Oh,
one.
it's on the internet. And then as soon as Cody walks out of the room after he gets his bane lifted, he goes, "Listen, you fat fuck. I don't give a shit what you fucking think." Because Cody said, "My two best friends, yay, they're back together." Cody has one fucking best friend. It's me, not you, you fat diabetes having turkey tits. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Oh, call disconnected. So basically, the whole thing of MJF is still MJF, except when Cody's around. Essentially, it's the Luger Sting gimmick, only more amplified because it's MJF.
But what I'm saying is I felt like they were trying not to show on TV how much MJF was actually babyfacing and trying to get the crowd riled up.
Oh yeah, MJF is full on babyfacing during this. He's trying to get the crowd to cheer for Cody and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's hilarious.
But what I'm saying is I felt like any time that was shown on camera, it felt like it was shown accidentally.
Yeah. But so Max is out there, Tully's out there. There's a lot of interference. Earl's the ref. Obviously they get into it. There's Tully took some bumps, man.
Can I just say, why the fuck hasn't anybody been using Tully Blanchard for the last 30 years?
He's great. The promos he's cut leading into this on Road to All Out and everything.
Yeah. Where's Tully been for the last 30 years?
Tully had some personal issues.
Okay.
Thankfully, it sounds like, again, a guy that's cleaned up his life. Found God, a born-again Christian.
Okay.
So, I mean, and obviously, I'm not going to go into that, but if your faith makes you better, more power to you.
Right.
And I don't begrudge anyone for stuff like that. But just don't beat me over the head with it. But no, Tully is cleaned up. When we met him at the Hall of Fame a few years ago, great guy. It
was just very clear to me the other Saturday night that Tully Blanchard is someone who still has a lot to offer the rest of the business.
And I'm happy that he's back, that he's working backstage for AEW, that he's going to be a part of AEW.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. So, and I thought he really did add to this match. And then obviously ref bump, everybody's down, and then Cody gets a little bit of help.
Yeah.
The second he walked out the tunnel and started towards the ring, you could feel the crowd. And then he gets in the ring, and I know it's coming. Shawn Spears turns around. Arn Anderson spine buster. Again, one of the biggest pops of the night. Guys, people say, AEW caters to the Hot Topic crowd. AEW caters to the hipster crowd. If that exclusively was true, that crowd wouldn't have popped for Arn Anderson. Because they wouldn't have known who the hell he was.
Yeah.
AEW caters to wrestling fans. And they gave one of the best wrestlers of all time, one of the biggest goddamn pops of the night, off of one of the most simplistic moves in wrestling. Because he did it better than anybody in the history of the business.
Right.
And just the fact he pulled it out for one night, God, and then obviously Arn and Tully, the great thing of Tully being like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And Tully chasing him back up the ramp. Obviously the match ends. Cody goes over, which I thought was a little surprising. I really thought they would have Shawn go over to continue
Tully's
the feud.
just in such great shape.
Yeah, Tully looks, and we're actually up to that match right now on the screen where Tully's making his entrance.
Yeah.
And then of course we get to the post match. The chair's in the ring. Cody's celebrating. MJF picks up the chair, and you're wondering what's he gonna do. He's looking at Ty. He's looking at Cody. Cody turns around. He just drops the chair. And fans immediately on the internet start bitching. You know why they started bitching, Alex?
Why?
Because they've forgotten what the fuck long-term storytelling is.
Yeah.
We're playing the long game here, guys, and we don't know what the payoff is yet. The payoff may not be what you think it is. I don't know what it is yet. I like that. Don't just force feed it to me. Don't force it down my fucking throat. Tell me a fucking story. Get me emotionally invested. I want to know what is Max going to do next? What is his deal with Cody? What's the fucking payoff? I want to know, but I don't want you to tell me next week. It's long-term storytelling, remember it? You used to see a program go a year in wrestling and nobody complained about it. Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man went 16 fucking months. And it was engaging.
Yeah, you also had an hour of TV a week.
Well, so we're going to have 2 hours of TV a week. You have an ability to tell long-term stories with this format. Do it! Roll Tide. I just realized what that is.
What?
She's dressed as 7 of 9.
What's 7 of 9?
Star Trek.
They're all wearing Star Trek costumes.
Oh shit, I just realized that. Because you said it on MJF, that literally is supposed to be Star Trek cosplay.
Yeah. Except for MJF's where MJF didn't bring his black jeans. Dally's wearing his black jeans.
Dallas wearing black pants. I just finally got it. Oh shit. I didn't. Again, you're live in the arena. The screens are far away. And it didn't hit me over the head. If I'd have seen it on TV, I would have known it. Because Cody kept bringing up watching Star Trek during his panel. I think I should have known. Now I get it. Okay, fuck. Now that I've seen it on TV, I got it. Again, and keep in mind, I was in the 200 level for the seats because that's where the accessible section is.
Yeah.
So I was pretty high up. I still, but for a show like this, I prefer that. I mean, if I can't, I've always said this, at a big time pay-per-view like type wrestling show, I either want to be in the first 3 rows or I want to be up high where I can see.
Yeah.
And being able to see everything.
Did you not realize when Cody walks out with the Star Trek shirt on?
I just realized, I thought he was wearing his regular top. I did not realize that until now. That's pretty amazing. I'm popping now for this. At this point, I'm electric at this point, dude. Cody has a connection with this crowd that you can't match. Obviously, everybody knows. Oh, dude, you can even see it on TV. Now that I'm looking at it, you can see Pharaoh freaking out. So no, this is a connection level that you can't match. Aw, poor Pharaoh. Poor buddy. I know Bentley, when, like, on 4th of July, he freaks out. See, by the time he gets to Cody, he's pretty much fine. So he recovered pretty quick. He's a pro. Pharaoh's a pro. He's good. Now, I'll put a bow on this one. We've talked about this match for a long time. I really enjoyed it. I'm now popping because I just realized it was all Star Trek cosplay. But this, some people are going to hate on this. I think there's a certain group that for whatever reason just wants to hate on Cody. I feel like sometimes.
I like Cody.
I love Cody.
But see, a lot of people that I hear have said in the past that they think Cody's stuff has been the best part because it's old school, whereas like Kenny and the Bucks stuff is a little bit more appealing to the
the Smarks don't like Cody because he doesn't wrestle their style. But
right.
I love Cody. God, just that look on Max's face, and literally Cody. Do you see where Cody turns his back and then he instantly starts talking trash to DDP?
Yeah.
I have to say, from the panel to everything this weekend to his meet and greet, dude, he's sitting in his meet and greet on his phone eating a yogurt with sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And he's literally giving people shit. He goes, like, literally, we're standing there and he says to a kid when he's doing his meet and greet, hey, can you do me a favor? Kid goes, yeah, sure, whatever. Fucking kill yourself.
That's a little bit too much for me.
But that's Max just living his gimmick.
Okay, there's still a line with a...
I love Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So
I do too for the most part, but
yeah.
I'm not crazy about that.
But again, when you're in there with an adult wrestling smart mark crowd, it's okay to do stuff like that. You're not on video.
Not to a kid.
He's not going to do it. Oh, it was to an adult.
Oh, I thought you said it was a kid.
No, he did.
No, you said it was a little kid.
No, kid. When I say kid, you remember, I'm 40. When I can say kid, and it can be somebody that's 30. I can call you a kid technically. But this kid was probably 20 in his early 20s.
Okay.
It was an adult. The only thing he did to kids was like to age, and it came out, it's AJ from AJ Awesome. That he says, I'm not answering a question for a child. But
yeah.
no. So Cody and Shawn, I really enjoyed it. I like story. I was cool with it. Then we had the ladder match, Lucha Bros versus Penta and Phoenix. This was by far the best match on the show.
You thought so?
I rated this 5 stars. The grapple rating on this is about 4.58. I went 5 stars. I was there live. This, and keep in mind, this is one of the, again, the benefits of being up high. I was able to see everything.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to the Game Changer Wrestling ladder match, I didn't get to, there's shit I completely missed because it was insane. But no, getting to be up high, getting to see everything in this match. These guys did crazy, insane ladder spots that you don't see anybody else do, that they can't because they can't do stuff that the Bucks and Penta and Phoenix can do. This is the best match between these guys because we've seen them wrestle now, I think, 6 or 7 matches over the course of the year between AAA and AEW. I thought this was the best match they had. They did ladder match spots that not even the Hardy Boys and Edge of Christian could have thought up. These guys just this was my I knew this was the match I was most looking forward to going into it.
Sure.
And the Bucks and Penta and Phoenix surpassed my expectations for it. I was expecting a good solid 4.5. To me, I went full 5 and I probably gave it a bump because I was there for it live, which people tend to do. And again, if you want to tell me this was the best match of the weekend, if you want to tell me it was the second best match of the weekend, you're not going to be wrong. This was the best match on All Out. There's no question about that. I enjoyed everything about it. Absolutely amazing. Just crazy insane spots. I love the spot, which I feel like the problem with this one kind of fell a little bit shorter for me than it would have had Moxley not done it a few weeks ago. The spot where on the top of the ladder they pull off Penta's mask.
Yeah.
Did they get a full-on shot of Penta's face?
No.
He covered up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even when he was doing moves, he held his arm over his face so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Moxley, that was the finish to the Moxley match at NEW, where Moxley pulled his mask off. I love that spot though. Pull the mask off.
It's been relied upon a lot lately.
Yeah, it's kind of become a trope with Lucha guys now. But it works, and it worked for the spot they did it in. The package pile driver from the top, double stomp from the top rope on a bridged ladder outside the ring.
Yeah,
was absolutely insane. Did you see? Nick almost missed both tables.
Yes, he sure did.
On that finish spot.
He did miss the second table.
He missed the second table. He almost went straight to the floor. Those tables were a little bit too far out.
No, he caught the rope.
Oh, he caught the rope?
No, he went through the first table and not the second table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he missed the rope. He got caught on the rope.
He got caught on the top rope when he went down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that all happened really fast live. But no, those guys absolutely crushed it. And then of course, and I called it going in. I said if they're gonna be here, this is the spot they're gonna do it. What did you call them?
The Wild Democrats.
The Wild Democrats.
Apparently they're gonna be called Proud and Powerful.
Proud and Powerful?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I was really surprised they didn't go with EYFBO, but
what
obviously
does that stand for?
I can never remember.
It's like eat your fucking.
Is the F fucking? That might be why they didn't. Okay.
It's like eat your fucking something out.
Yeah. But the former LAX, Santana and Ortiz, come out and attack both teams post match. I really had to piss after this match. I had to piss during this match. I wasn't leaving during the match. So as soon as
entertain your fucking balls off.
As soon as they grabbed the belts, I ran. Thankfully, we were literally. I didn't run, but I moved as fast as I could to get to the to get to the restroom. Thankfully, we were literally probably 10, 20 steps out. It's probably less. We were a minute from the restroom. Thankfully. So I got in and got out. But by the time I got back, LAX literally ripped the masks off the second I got back. Which, again, I knew the second I heard somebody taking a bump, I knew in my head. I said, "Yep, LAX just showed up." Obviously these two guys, and again, it sucks that people don't watch Impact because these guys have killed it for the last 2 years, and they deserve a bigger platform, and they're going to get it with AEW. There's no way they're not featured. There's no way they're not going to the fight. I think they probably win the tag tournament if I was the booker.
Yeah.
Dark Order's not getting over, so they're not winning. The Bucks don't need to win.
Yeah.
Penta
and what about Lucha?
Penta and Phoenix are over enough. I don't think they need to win. I think LAX with this crowd because again nobody watches Impact, so I think if you're smart you put LAX over. Obviously, the Bucks said it, meant it when they said it. They're building the strongest tag division in wrestling. Tag team wrestling is going to be featured in AEW, which anybody who's ever listened to me talk, I've said many times, I was always a fan of tag team wrestling growing up, and I think it's bullshit that tag team wrestling doesn't get nearly, I think, the push it should in WWE. And again, going back to even currently, the fact that your tag teams on Raw are two singles guys.
Do you think the Usos will jump?
I'll tell you. I'm gonna say. Oh, nah. Should I say it? You know where the Usos need to jump? Rehab. Usos need to jump to rehab before they jump anywhere else.
Wow.
No, because they're gonna end up Hardy Boying themselves.
Yeah.
I'm worried. I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy and Jay are the best tag team, or are possibly, well, outside of Nick and Matt, the best tag team in the world. But their career may end up going down the shitter because they can't put down the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least if you're gonna drink, call fucking Uber. Shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. No.
Wait, is that all?
If the WWE is gonna continue to bury him, I think it becomes highly likely they might move.
Yeah.
That'd be, I mean, that match, that's a main event of a fucking pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
LAX versus the Usos versus the Bucks. That's a main event.
Right.
So who knows? I had hoped the team I had hoped was going to move as the Good Brothers. Apparently WWE said, "Look, we're going to start to use you and we're going to push you if you sign this new contract," and they signed.
Yeah.
Which again, they both have families to think about.
Yeah.
And if they got a huge money deal, because it sounds like WWE is willing to pay out the ass to keep talent that they think AEW is willing to sign.
Yeah.
So, real quick, what do you think of Sean Spears' contacts?
Yeah.
I
don't hate them, but they're fine. I don't think they add anything to his character.
Yeah,
his gimmick.
that was a little strange. Just making him seem more evil by adding contacts. God damn it.
This is great.
Yeah. Him flipping off and taking Tully's belt. That was a great spot. So, main event. First off, obviously, huge pop for cowboy shit.
Yeah.
He made the joke, and then Cody said, I had a feeling it was going to happen, because they made a point of Cody and his panel, you can tell sometimes when they're doing it tongue-in-cheek, Cody said, "I'm not letting him ride a goddamn horse to the ring." I'm like, he's riding a fucking horse to the ring.
Yeah.
Cowboy shit. Hashtag cowboy shit. Jericho comes out looking like Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
The bloated... No, here's the thing. Jericho's always been about reinvention and transformation.
Yeah.
The current gimmick is essentially, over the hill...
Yeah.
Arrogant prick rock star.
Yep.
Which in this format completely works.
Yeah.
Obviously, the crowd's singing along to Judas because it's a fucking awesome song.
Yeah.
That's a great song. I listen to it all the time. Actually, that shows up in my favorites playlist all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Because I do listen to that song often. So does Cody's entrance music. Crowd singing along with Cody's entrance music was probably one of the best moments.
Yeah. You gotta go to work soon.
12:30. Oh
Yeah.
shit! It's almost noon. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
I still got one more big story to tell.
I know.
So we'll quickly get this. I thought this main event was a little slow. And how much can Jericho? Is that Jericho? They worked a storytelling style.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you think? Like people like Dave that said the ladder match should have gone on last.
It should have. The ladder match should have main evented. But if we're going strictly on wrestling, on what they were going to do in the match should have gone on last. However, it's your first world champion. You can't have your first world champion be crowned not in the main event.
Right.
Whether you're crowned a heel or not, that had to be the main event. Jericho, I don't get how the Judas effect's supposed to be this big finish, but
if anybody can get it over, it's
Jericho can. So go with it. I thought the closing sequence to this was great.
Yeah.
They obviously worked a slower style. They built up to the finish, which that's Jericho's style.
Yep.
He did his style match.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho winning made the most sense.
Yeah.
You got to do mainstream media. He's the name everybody knows from if you've watched wrestling after 1997, you know the name Chris Jericho. How much are you going to have him? He's also 50 years old. You're not going to have him for long. Put the belt on him, make it prestigious, and then build up to someone, whether it's Hangman, whether it's Pac, whether it's Kenny, whoever, whether it's Moxley, whoever beats him is going to be a big deal. This was the smart play. They made the right call. Now, I will tell you, as soon as we 1, 2, 3 hit, me and Doug ran out of there.
Yeah.
We were one of the first people out of the building, as opposed to last year we were one of the last people out of the building, got stuck in traffic for an hour.
Yeah.
We were back. I think, legitimately, of people staying at Starrcast, myself and Doug Ritter may have been the first people back to the hotel.
Yeah.
The after party hadn't even started letting in yet when we got back. By the time we got, because I went up to the room. By the way, shout out to the Hyatt Regency for your very loose, lenient alcohol policy. I was able to basically drink my own beer the entire weekend. I did not pay. I paid for maybe 2 alcoholic beverages outside of what I bought on the way to the building. Because I bought.
Well, it's always stated that the Hall of Fame had a pretty lenient.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so I was able to buy a 16-pack of 16-ounce Coors Light aluminum bottles and pretty much use that all weekend. So the after party. We learned our lesson at the All In after party. If you're gonna go, pay the extra money, get the VIP after party.
Yeah.
Because that is where the workers hang out. That is where everybody that you really want to hang out with is gonna be. Pay the extra money. They did sponsored by Blue Chew pop-up meet and greets with Killer Cross, who is awesome. Great to finally meet Killer Cross. That is a big man. That is somebody you don't want to fuck with, let me tell you. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Big things are coming for this kid. Whether it's AEW, whether it's WWE, he is completely done with Impact. He told me and Douglas they owe him a shit ton of money.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I will say that. No. So big things are going to come for this guy. Whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW. Obviously, he's a huge star in Mexico. Wherever it's going. Leva Bates gave me a huge hug. She gave everybody huge hugs, but I've met Leva before. She is one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. She's so sweet. Such a great connection with her with fans. Scarlett, got to meet Scarlett. I got the big hey, which it translated is, hey, I know you, but I can't remember your goddamn name, which is what she literally says to me every time she sees me.
Yeah.
The fact she at least knows who I am, or she knows me is enough. You see a lot of people in this business.
Right.
She knows, she always remembers me because she knows that she's known me since day one, so she never remembers my name, but it's enough. I love my Scarlett. Everybody knows that. And she was looking as Scarlett looks, as we say. Leva was awesome. Again, shout out to the Game Changer Wrestling crew for just making got to talk to my boy Nate Webb.
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about somebody that absolutely remembered me and Douglas? We gave Nate a beer, so he was happy. Nate chilled with us for a minute. We had a conversation. Talked about shit on Ian Rotten for a little bit. Talked about some old school stuff. Got to meet Jimmy. Met Jimmy Lloyd. Again, we met Jimmy Lloyd before, but got to hang out with Jimmy Lloyd for a minute. Me and Alley Cat bonded over our mutual love of cat. Alley Cat, as anyone who's seen the picture on my social media, she had a very convenient place to carry her White Claw. What do you think of that?
It was interesting.
I was like, I have to take a picture with that.
So I have to think at some point Sean Spears and MJF and Tully, and maybe some more, are going to be forming some kind of stable.
Some kind of a horseman. I think that's the long-term play. But again, here you have literally Tully's beating the shit out of him. This is where Arn comes out. But
I was going to say, I didn't think Earl bumped.
So, Joey Janela, the after-party theme this year is Janela Palooza. Whereas last year was just a Derek after-party. They said Joey Janela's going to host it. They've got a live performance by Tone Loc. So Joey comes out. Obviously, keep in mind, Joey worked early in the night.
Yeah.
Joey'd already had a few by the time he showed up to the after-party, I'm going to guess.
Sure.
He gets on stage and he's like, they didn't give me a format for this or anything, so I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. So he starts just talking to the fans that are standing by the stage and he's, roasting some people. Like, there's a guy in a CM Punk t-shirt. He's like, this guy's crying because Punk didn't show up. He goes, no, he calls him Phil. Phil didn't show up. So, and one of the running themes, if you actually look on Twitter under the hashtag JanelaPalooza, is you'll see people tweeting, CM Punk showed up at the after party and did this. Joey kept saying, hey, everybody tweet out that CM Punk showed up at the after party and started drinking White Claws. Hey, everybody should tweet out that CM Punk showed up and put Jimmy Lloyd through a table. Just random shit.
Yeah.
Joey just being Joey. Obviously, some people love Joey Janela. There are people we know that hate Joey Janela. I fucking love Joey. Loved him as a wrestler. Obviously, he's not the greatest in-ring performer, but goddamn it, he's fucking entertaining. And just giving him a live mic and an endless supply of White Claw is hours of entertainment, folks. Including... So, I'm back with Douglas, and I'm standing there, and I'm about 3 or 4 Coors Lights in at this point. So I'm pretty buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
I said to Douglas, God damn it. Should I go up there? Because he's pulling fans on stage. I'm like, I know if I say it, he'll do it. Douglas said, God damn it. Go. Fuck it. Do it. Go do it. So I walk up to the stage. I say, Joey. Joey comes over. I say, hey, I just want to ask you a question. Would you book the Seth Rollins Moonsault guy versus Frank the Clown for Spring Break 4? Joey looks at me for a second and goes, Joey's response, oh, fuck. You're coming on stage right now. Joey, as I'm walking the stage, and there's video of this, but this part wasn't on because Doug didn't start video recording until I got on stage. Joey, as I'm coming around the corner to the steps to the stage, he goes, hey, y'all remember fucking IWA Mid-South? Y'all remember when Seth Rollins moonsaulted off the fan on the Matt Sydal? Well, I just found out the fan is actually here. I come on stage, decent pop. Me and Joey are talking. I cut the promo on Frank the Clown. I finally get a chance to cut a promo on Frank. And keep in mind, Frank's been there all weekend. Frank's not there. Fuck. So I finally get a chance to cut a promo on Frank the Clown and call his ass out. And he's not actually in the building. Of course, it's one of those things where I thought of funny lines after the fact I should have said. So I'll say them right now. I don't know where Frank was. He's probably up in the hotel room getting pegged by Noel.
Gross.
It's fucking funny. God damn it. So, I call out Frank. Joey says, me and Joey go back and forth a little bit. Joey sees another fan of the crowd. He starts talking. He goes, oh shit, you're still here. Then he goes, raise one up. I raise up my beer and he goes, you're drinking Coors Light? Get the fuck off my stage. They come back. Joey says, hey, you want a claw? He goes, no. You redeem yourself. Stone Cold this fucking White Claw right now. So I start chugging White Claw. Then I say, I'm going to one-up this shit. And I decided to full-on Sandman a can of White Claw into my forehead.
You're still talking about this?
Yeah.
Hey,
we
Margaret.
almost had 2 hours.
Margaret, don't Stone Cold a can of White Claw into your head. It fucking hurts.
No shit, Sherlock.
But my forehead still has a red mark and it still hurts like hell. I'm rubbing on it right now. But no, Joey Janela and the Game Changer crew. So this happens, and this is, that's the coolest fucking thing I'm gonna have all happen all year. I got put over by Joey fucking Janela, so fuck anybody that says I put myself over too much and all that shit.
Put you over. He was pissed you were drinking Coors Light.
Yeah, but then he let me redeem myself by chugging a White Claw. I also had White Claw all over my hope. I hoped that would impress Alley Cat, but Allie was more worried about the fact that I almost hard-weighed myself with the can. But so that happened. Tone Loc performs. That's cool. After Tone Loc performs, Joey gets back on stage after drinking more. Brings up Jimmy Lloyd Marco's stunt, and at this point, this after party just goes off the rail. Joey's like...
Because it wasn't already off the rail when they brought your ass up there. Jesus Christ.
Joey pulls out the table that's on the stage. He goes, I'm gonna spend more of Conrad's fucking money. We're gonna break this table. This table was not gimmicked. This table had huge metal supports on it. They tried like 10 times. Jimmy Lloyd ran at this table. They tried to Death Valley Driver alley through the table. They brought up Marco. I'm like, what the fuck is Marco's stunt going to do to this fucking table? He's 70 pounds. This table did not fucking break. Joey goes, hey, the winner of this thing's the fucking table.
I bet Marco's at least 100 pounds.
There's probably more shit I forgot because I was fucking hammered by this point. But this, just Joey Janela just holding court, partying until they officially shut this fucker down at 2 a.m. I finally get upstairs. I almost fall off the goddamn elevator.
That's hilarious.
I sit down. I'm watching like a YouTube video or something on my phone. And next thing I know, I hear, hey, dumbass, wake up. I had legitimately fucking passed out drunk. Douglas had to wake me up to take my glasses off and put my phone on the charger. Dude, Janela-Palooza after party, fucking insane, fucking awesome. Got to talk to so many and meet so many fucking cool ass people. Great week. Obviously, if you're a pro wrestling fan, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan like I am, if you get a chance to go to Starrcast, fucking go. You meet so many cool. You talk to fans, you talk to cool people, you meet people you admire in this business. Anybody, and again, there's going to be people in my own social circle that are going to say, oh, Regal beat a mark, whatever. Fuck you. I'm a goddamn wrestling fan. I went to a wrestling fan convention because I am a wrestling fan. If anybody has a problem with that, you can all eat my dick.
Remember this.
What?
The next time you start shitting on wrestling fans. I will be bringing this up again if I hear you shitting on wrestling marks again.
God damn it. I guess that she once again, your wife is the smartest person in the room and has a point.
Whoa, I just get tired of being a broken record and calling you out on it every time.
Alright. Why is it when your wife says it, I actually listen?
I don't know. Anyways, so we're over 2 hours.
This
now.
is the longest
Jesus
podcast
Christ.
I think we've ever done.
No, it's not.
But we kind of do this coming in.
Next week, Pipe Dream 89.
No, it's not.
Is that never? That's just never gonna happen.
Hey guys, come to SCW this weekend if you're still listening.
Come to 3XW this weekend or SCW.
SCW Friday night at the Beer Stoop. Saturday night we're in Walcott.
No, we're not.
We're not in Walcott. We're in fucking Iowa City at Wildwood. Come to Wildwood and eat some fucking... You want to talk about great barbecue?
Yeah.
There's some great barbecue at Wildwood. Come eat some. I unfortunately have to go back to my shoot job in about 30 minutes. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
Again, I had an amazing weekend. Maybe someday I'll actually get McCarthy to come.
Maybe someday. Why didn't we go this year?
I don't know. Why didn't you come up this year? You almost came up to 2 cups.
Yeah.
Although that 2 a.m. drive back would have been a little rough.
Yeah, one called went back after the show, though. He drove back Friday night.
He had to go to the Iowa game.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal is that hopefully next year, when Game Changer runs a show, because goddamn it, they will be running a show all that weekend. Hopefully, let's all hope and pray. Everybody tweet Brett Lauderdale. Tell him next year, got to book one called Manders.
Oh, I think it'll be inevitable.
Yeah. So, guys, like I said, I had probably one of the greatest. I thought last year was the greatest weekend ever. A few factors, obviously, getting on stage with Janelle, meeting DDP. A few things, getting to finally. I never got a picture with CM Punk until that day. Of all the times I'd been around him back in the day.
I never take pictures with anybody.
I know. The only time I do is Starrcast, it seems like.
Yeah. You used to get all those mark photos at Dreamwave.
Yeah, back in the day at Dreamwave, I used to get some mark photos, as we call them, mark pics. But again, I can't do that anymore. I guess I just literally just said it. I can't do that. I can't make fun of fans that take pictures. I can't because I'm doing the same shit.
Yep.
Guys, I want to say, embrace your wrestling fandom. Don't hide it. Ask Alex. Alex, do you ever see me anymore? Hardly ever not wearing a wrestling T-shirt. Generally, it's Bullet Club or AEW or New Japan, but
I mean to work.
Well, literally, the only place I don't wear wrestling T-shirts, I think, is to work now.
Yeah.
Guys, embrace your wrestling fandom. If people tell you it's not cool, whatever, go do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're hopefully an adult. And if you're an adult, you don't care. You shouldn't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
Exactly. Guys, right. Pro wrestling's awesome. I had one of the best weekends of my life. See everybody this weekend at SCW.
See you Friday night at 3XW.
I guess next week we're talking about the shows that we were at this weekend. So.
And anniversary.
Oh, and we got a preview anniversary. So,
that's right. All right.
Big show next weekend as well. Thank you if you're still listening to me.
Yes, thank you if you're still listening after 2 fucking hours.
2 hours. Hey, hopefully they do like me with podcasts. They listen on an hour and a half speed. They only listen for 90 minutes.
Maybe. All right. We'll see you next time, guys.